you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yeah. I know. I already drank my cup of coffee for the morning. I'm actually going to go back for maybe some tea or some cocoa later on. I just got a need for some nice warm fluids, right? So, what's up? How are you doing? This is Nix. How are you? Happy birthday. Congratulations. My condolences. And I hope you get through this thing soon. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Leave. Okay? So, let's get on with the message because I got a lot of communication right now. It's a lot. It's a lot. Because I got like maybe one, two, three, four, five sources of no, six sources of communication. So six equal give and take from the universe. Things are balancing out polarities, lots of different ways to communicate. Um, Paper, news, social media, the web, just the World Wide Web, period, word of mouth, um, text messages, emails, chats, WhatsApp, um, whispers. They travel faster than a lot of communication gossip. Okay, so all forms of communication are on the board. Mail, physical mail. All forms of communication are on the board. Written testimony, both oral and written. Lots and lots of communication, books, studying, research, investigation, calendars, documentation. Okay. All forms of communication. This is what I have across the board, right? And tarot. Unconventional communications. Okay, that means cryptid, encrypted, coded, coded communications, encrypted, coded communications. All right, so I got a lot of communications on the board. Good, good. And the most conveyed communication is body language. There you go. All right, so there are all the communications across the board. So let's get, and music, communication. We've been getting a lot of communication through music. All right. So let's go. Haha. All right. It's a recession. Everybody broke. So I just came back to give everybody hope. Just looking out for my folk. Giving the whole nine. Yeah, you ain't got it now, so you keep the whole nine. It's a recession, right? There you go. Uh Jeezy. Shout out to Jeezy. That's what's up. That's what's up. I said the drought got a nigga drunk. I'm still trying to sober up. All right, so somebody's definitely drinking to get through this. Wish I had me some money. I buy me some better luck. Somebody's a gambler. Might buy me a bigger truck. Buy me some more time. Ain't nobody got it now. Need to find me a new grind. Okay, so somebody needs a new job. That's always right. That's just a no brainer, right? Somebody always needs a new grind, right? But somebody really like they hitting on hard times, so they trying to get out of a really tight spot. So you know, desperate times mean desperate moves, right? Okay, so we got that. It's a recession. Everybody broke, so I just came back to give everybody hope. So it's a plan, it's maybe a plan, somebody just trying to just bust a move because they got good intentions on their side of the thing, but you know even to the expense of somebody else. They've got good intentions on one end, but it's kind of not a good avenue. Got it. Boom. All right. They say you won't make it rain. B is you insane. think about once a month, and them numbers be insane in the membrane. Got me wrecking my damn brain. Want me just damn cane? I'm going through a damn thing. Okay, so somebody really don't want to do it, but everybody's putting pressure on them. So it's a lot of pressure on these people. Everybody got pressure, right? Everybody got bills to pay. Everybody got mouths to feed. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got family. Everybody got a mouth to feed. You understand? So we got that, and it's a recession. May not look like it, but it's definitely a recession going on. So we got mouths to feed. We got things to do. We got everybody got a fam feed. Everybody got a mouth feed. You know what I'm saying? So everybody. All right. So it says something about Annie, my Annie on Section 8. Then why ain't her credit straight? See, you planned all of that, which means she ain't never late. She said she said I'm always on time, like Ashanti and Ja Rule, and just tell us anything, because we look like some damn fools. Well, some people are gullible. Some people will go for it. Some people will, they're gonna fall for anything just because they fallen on desperate times. So it is really an underlying recession going on, and it's about to get really loud pretty soon for a few people. For those who are on government assistance, like, prepare, because they're trying to mess with it, and I know we all need it, and it's meant as temporary. So you got to definitely step up, and it's no shame in the game. If you need it, you know what I'm saying, do it. Do it. You might get put on a list for forever, whatever, but make sure you try. It's always a record. Make sure you try. You got to do something, but definitely it's supposed to be a temporary thing. So get your education, get you a trade, do something that you like. Take a hobby and turn it into some money. You know what I'm saying? It's $1 million up here forever. It's always $1 million up here. So take heed to what I'm saying. There are things for you to do where you could get some honest money and make a great revenue. You don't have to be anybody else. What you need to do is be able to support yourself. That's the first thing of security. Being able to have food, shelter, and safety. And that is on everyone to provide this necessity for themselves. God bless the child that have its own. So definitely don't allow anybody to feed you, even if you do need to lean on someone for a temporary time, because this is the thing, the same person that can feed you could also take the power to starve you. And some people really only fed you so they can tell someone else about it. Hard pill to swallow. Like the ones that always got to show or post or take a picture or call somebody and say, "Hey, I lent this person $5. I lent this person $20. I lent this, that. They always taking a receipt of everything. You know what I'm saying? That they do for people, but they don't know. A lot of people don't know the chunks that they take out of people in the process of these favors. So be mindful of that. So that's that part of the communication. That's electronics, devices, airdrops, tracking, um, tracking devices. There's that investigation. Okay, so I got that part. Let's go to the book. Let's go to literature. Literature. Okay, so the recession went into literature. So we're going to start with the Bible before we go to the book that I was reading, which is John Grisham. And this is all in the message. Everything that I'm saying is all in the message. Okay, so it's all in Wednesday's wisdom. Take your time, roll it around a little bit. It's like a nice, remember Riuniti, a nice Chianti, a nice Italian, nice Merlot, or a nice sweet red with a deep, it's like a nice Chianti, nice. Somebody Italian in here, or somebody just got really rich taste, something like that. I am kind of giving mobster a little bit right now, yeah. Martina, la todo mona, neta ternina. I'm talking bullshit. But yeah, Yeah, I don't know why I stopped for the Italian thing because maybe someone's thinking, ooh, pay attention to the spaghetti. A lot of people are starting to do dirty spaghetti instead because of all of this suspicion with sauces and stuff. If a person wants to get you, they're going to get you. Just be careful who you're around, okay? So, yeah, let's get on to the Bible verse and let's get back. Except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. Except the Lord keep the city, the watchman waketh, but in vain. It is vain for you to rise up early, to sit up late, to eat the bread of sorrows, for so he giveth his beloved sleep. Lo, children are an heritage of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. As arrows are in the hand of a mighty man, so are children of the youth. Happy is the man that hath his quiver full of them. They shall not be ashamed, but they shall speak with the enemies in the gate. All right, so and this it says, the Lord keep the city, the watchman waketh, but in vain. Remember the song starting off was It's a Recession. I came back to It's a Recession. Everybody broke. So I just came back to give everybody hope. Okay, so there is hope. There is hope in God. There is hope in the Most High. But also, there are people in your family that you do put a lot of faith in and you do put a lot of pressure in. And when these people do not meet your expectations the way that you think that they should, some of us are very arrogant and selfish as to hate a person or not like a person or put away a person because they didn't do what you thought that they should do. They didn't give you what you thought that they should give you. They didn't you know, lay themselves on the cross the way you thought that they should for your happiness. And that's a hard pill to swallow. And you're going to have to swallow it. Much like a medication that you shouldn't skip. Even if it's a horse pill, a doctor will tell you get it down the best way you can. So, in this situation, there are people that I'm talking to right now, in which they have been the family martyr for so very long, they do not understand why people always call them when things are on fire. They never call them when the water's fine. When I say that, if it went over somebody's head, I mean, they don't call you to the pool parties. If they call you, it's to be on the grill. They don't call you to the party when everybody's having fun. They call you when everybody's fighting, when there's a funeral, when there are things to do. They do not call you when everything is cool. So, someone in this situation is definitely going through that sort of situation. In some situations, there are children who are absorbing that. Doesn't matter what generation, take what resonates. Lo, children are a heritage of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. As arrows are in the hand of a mighty man, so are children of the youth. So there are children that are pure and they have great intentions. And a lot of times they get stuck in the childhood rut of the abandonment, the mommy wound, the daddy wound. A lot of times reversed. It's not coddling. It's not a lot of times it's not the coddling that makes the situation bad. It's the reverse. And the abandonment wounds make a lot of people want validation from a parent that it's not going to come from. And that also would make one partner be jealous of another partner if they deem that partner has a better relationship with family, friends, or anyone better than them. This is the case in many situations where a partner, a friend, or a family member would deem your relationships more valuable than them and seek to destroy and separate relationships for you, including the one that you all have personally, because they have wounds that they have not seek to find out about. And this is why we always end up back in the root of things. And when a person is doing most of the time, when they say root work, I'm going to give a quick explanation. I'm not going to go in deep. It's when someone tries to attach your present to a traumatic past you have. And most time your traumatic past is attached in your childhood. A person will learn you, study you, and sometimes ask a lot of information by way of just subtle things. And a person who deems themselves a master of the 48 powers of law or whatever the crap, they'll use certain situations just for the sole purpose of manipulating and controlling others. I was just giving other people the time to pull up or pull out or whatever, so that they could understand what I was talking about. So by way of that way someone will attach you to a traumatic event does not really matter as long as it takes you back to a time in where you were traumatized, and they will tether you to it, which is digging the root. Digging to the root. You ever had a root canal? It hurts, right? So they attach you as so, and to attempt to dig and dig at that wound, causing a gouging effect, causing effect to your nervous system. That's what root canals do, right? You drill into, you're able to expose the nervous system and then repair and build from there. And this is how healing does work. Shadow work happens just just like a root canal. You dig into the root of the problem, you expose the nervous system, you heal and repair from there. And that's that part. All right, so let's keep it going. Like I was saying, from the arrows, that Sagittarius, there, that Sagittarius. Arrows are in the hand of the mighty man, so are children of the youth. Happy is the man that hath his quiver full of them. They shall not be ashamed, and they shall speak with the enemies in the gate. You see, do not fear speaking to the enemy. You do not have to fear speaking to them if you have a sound mind and a sound heart. You can use discernment and they cannot infiltrate your spaces. So don't be over paranoid. It's just to be alert when people are talking to you, what they're talking to you about, and why are they asking you this? And are they attempting to come for you and play in your face? Are they attempting to talk to you as though you are that person you were when you couldn't quite figure it out? Are they attempting to talk to you as though you are a child? Are they attempting to son you? Are they respecting you? You understand? So this is a lot of time what happens, and if you're not very careful you can be triggered, and that's also a part of it, the root work, being as though they could get you in your feelings, and getting you in your feelings is very good at controlling you. I mean, you can make all sorts of condos and apartments in those people's heads, especially if they have a big old forehead. Get a nice bay view window. Yeah, so definitely don't let a bitch get in your head. Don't let it get to your head. No, 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 no. Don't let it get to your head. No. Hey, don't let it get to your head. No. Yeah. Don't let it get to your head now. Hey, so that's part one half of the literature. Let's get on over to the book. So we've got some initials and maybe quick little description. Don't know who these people are. I'm just writing what I see. All right. That's funny. I've got a little homework for you too. So let's keep going. So I'm still reading a book with the daggone judges. The judges are good, right? I told you it's three of them. One of them is a cross dresser, on the low, because he really prevents he presents as macho, but I think he's kind of confused. He doesn't really know it. But I'm taking it from the fact that he wears the robe with the little wig, with the medieval wig that, and he's the only one that doesn't see. He's the only one that doesn't see that yeah, he's the only one that doesn't see that he's cross dressing. Much just like a weed smoker that doesn't think that doesn't think nobody sees their high. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. So yeah. So then we look in the book. I forgot to tell you what these guys' names were. One is Joe Roy Spicer. This might be significant to anyone, and the one that he's extorting, that's the guy, the rich banker guy. So I'm taking it there's a rich guy in here that's actually kind of getting blackmailed and extorted in sort of kind of a way, because if he doesn't keep the money flowing and the money going, he's got to keep his name from showing. So it's somebody that's trying to pay to play and they're really running out of funds. I got Quincy Garb. This is the name of the guy in the thing in case you ever read the book. It's John Grisham, The Brethren. So yeah, if you ever read the book, you'll know what I'm talking about. So it's like these guys picked up a scheme that was in prison about extorting people through writing through the pen pal system, and they're posing as young, real sexy guys, and they're talking to these guys and telling them that they're in desperate situations so that they can get them to get money so that they can buy out of the situations. They're saying that they're in rehabs, they're in like abusive relationships. They're just saying all sorts of stuff. So they're just, putting their fishing significant. Fishing, not fishing. They could be email phishing, like email phishing, spamming, that sort of thing, scam fraud, that sort of thing. But that's not what I'm saying. But that's what they're doing when they're doing the pen pals and they're extorting the money from the guys. They're pretending they're catfishing. That's what they're doing, catfishing. They're throwing lines out. That's what I'm saying. Throwing lines out, just like phone lines, a lot of lines. Somebody's got landlines, phone lines, different hooks into different people. Right. But this is what I'm talking about in the book. So this is happening in real life and both in the book. The book that I'm reading right now. This is the book that I'm reading presently that John Grisham has blessed us with. But like I'm saying, you got to get my book, Inside Gossip by Alexis Cisco. You've got to get that book because it reads just like John Grisham's book is reading for me right now. So if you read it, it's going to feel like you're in a warped type of time zone. You're going to trust me, get over there. Inside Gossip by Alexis Cisco. All right, so Judge Roy Spicer. Remember, I was saying Quincy Garb, he had a really nice wife, and the benefits of having that wife was she came from money. So she had a lot of, ties and networks and lines to her when they met. So he got the benefit of whatever he had and the benefit of whatever she had. And then they had kids and they had pretty decent kids. So then they made more lines of contact through kids, university sports, that sort of things, through institutions. This is how people network. This is how people build their rapport. And this is how social engineering happens. So this was taken advantage of in this case. That's how the extortion started. Ooh, boy. I wrote a lot on a legal pad. Legal pad might be significant. Yellow. Yellow back, yellow, somebody, Ocean, that sort of thing. Energy, that sort of thing. Legal pad. So someone who is maybe divine, divination, divine feminine, not a comic really, except in the heart, except on the hands. Other than that, person's kind of smooth, person's kind of clean, got a nice style, nice house. Somebody real nice. Um, Everything good but the money. Yeah, that's what it is. Everything good but the money. Real clean, real nice. Smell good too. Look good. It's okay till you get to the money. The money is in volume. The money big. The money long. The money is in excess, but the money is no good. The money is no good. Okay, so this is what's happening. But in this case, his money is good. His money was good until he opened up that letter. So somebody was good until they opened up that letter, or somebody was good until they opened up that email. Maybe malware, or what they heard on the other line was full of shit, or it was something that they were speaking that they wasn't supposed to be speaking. Maybe it was some restricted information or information they shouldn't have, or filthy information, dirty information, something like that. Or kinky or something like that. Information. So whatever they were saying, they started writing bracy letters back and forth. And this is how the guy had hooked them in by getting him to, I guess, acknowledge his other side. Because the guy said the way that he got him is he kept hinting that he wanted to have a thing with the guy that he thought he was writing the letter to. So the guy, being curious, opened up a window for this guy to extort him. Maybe he wasn't like that, but because he opened up the window, remember, they had never done anything. They only communicated that. So, in some way or form, someone got locked into something they really weren't into. And now they're probably not allowed to stop, at least not comfortably. And they're not able to explain it because it's hard to explain. And tell you the truth, it's hard to believe. Coming from me, I'm telling you, somebody's locked into something that they can't get out of, and they can't explain it because it is hard to believe. So it's torturous. And they're drinking. This is why someone drinks that much. This is why someone does something that much, is because they're locked into something, but they cannot say anything. They're telling the truth, but it's hard to believe. And depending on the reputation, depends on if people believe them. Depending on the reputation, it depends on if people believe them. This is what I'm getting. So remember, I said the names are, I think it's Q. Then I got Tarry, Tarry, but it's probably Terry, or probably Teri. Remember, they had a lotion called Carrie. It was Keri. You know, if you write something and a person doesn't read it real carefully, they'll say another name and not the name that's supposed to be said, or the name that's supposed to be read. Or a person just changed the letter in the name so that it looks like something different, or it goes somewhere different. It ends up somewhere different. So a person with a name that looks the same goes somewhere different. That's what I got. It just came just now in the middle of me flipping this page. I didn't even write that down. So, like I said, why is his name Judge Beach? So there's a woman judge. Don't ask me. There's a woman judge. Slam dunk. March Madness might have something to do with it. Basketball games, parlay betting. I said something about lottery gambling. Florida, Panhandle, Mexico, various drop offs. Boom. Texas, uh, oh, Zorro. Cisco Kid was a friend of mine. Da, 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 da. He drink whiskey, Poncho drink the wine. Da, 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 da. All right, so somebody drink the high stuff, somebody drink the low stuff. You take the high road and you take the low road, and we'll join together something, something. Norse, Russian, Slavic, heritage, Des Moines. Isn't that in Maine? Up north, up there. Somebody's up north. Somebody's ascending to the north node. Up north. Maine? Des Moines? Isn't that the capital? Um, mm, there you go. Quincy. I keep seeing them. Quincy, Quince, Quentin, Q, Chat West, West over West. Okay. But I got Joe, Roy, and I got Spicer. Spicer, Springtime Spice, Spicer. You know, there was a Guyanian, what, a music artist. His name is Richie Spice. So somebody might be from the island, Richie Spice. Somebody might have dreads, or they might be dark skinned like Richie Spice. Richie Spice had nice dark skin. So somebody might have really nice, pretty dark skin. I don't know if it's a karmic or not. Don't know. Somebody just got nice, pretty dark skin. Richie Spice has dark skin. I don't remember where Richie Spice is from, but he's a reggae artist as well. Somebody's in prison. I said that before. A lot of this I said before in different ways. So, like I said, the guy stepped out on his wife. His wife was the investment that he had made in his life. It was the best investment he had ever made. They had 3 kids. They had beautiful kids. Whatever had happened along the way, he got tempted out. The problem is he never physically did anything. So how did he find himself in such a situation where he had to end up finding $100,000 to give to this guy who all of a sudden pulled the rug of his life, the rug of his security out from under him without ever laying a finger on him, because he allowed his mind to get weak in that moment and fall into the lust. He noticed the person didn't even have to touch him. The person was actually able to get into his mind by way of just words and a pen. Remember, writing is spiritual. Never forget, it's an art. Um, Definitely through way up his heart. He was able to dig into all of his personal business by way of getting his guards down. He was talking to him through the letters. It takes a lot of effort to mail a letter. Even the process of sending it out is a lot, even after you've composed the letter. Actually, before you've even composed, even to put the thoughts down, even subconsciously, you'd write something down. And then you'd send it out. Even in your movements, something would be recorded in time, from you even going from one place to another to give this thing to the post office, and which, by the way, is one of the biggest portals to get all of your thoughts on another side of the world without you even moving. Same thing for emails, same thing for a text, same thing for a phone call. Okay, so those parts. Peeling volumes. What? I like it when I just fall on words and they make me think of things, but I'm not going to go there. I just said it out loud. You take what you want. Single white male in 20s looking for a kind and discreet gentleman in 40s or 50s to pen pal with. So, Somebody definitely does the catfishing thing. They're really good at pretending that they're someone else while doing another thing. They like to think in their head one way, so when they're talking to you, they're not even there. They are pretending to be the person that they want you to think that they are. So it's very easy to detach from anything that they do. So it's quite, you know, it's almost seamless that they could be someone else. So someone is definitely living maybe multiple lives, if not two. And they don't have to be a Gemini. Okay. So don't keep putting all that on everybody. They're just somebody who are just born two faced, or they just have a split personality. So someone might be just off their meds, or they have never been diagnosed. That could be true for a lot of people. So that's broad, that's collective. There are some on the good side, and there are some on the bad side that are skipping their medicines. Some because they don't like to take them, some because they can't afford them, some because they're flipping out and they like flipping out. They don't understand. They like the high that they get from flipping out. Be careful of these people. They like to be, they like to get put in situations where they'll take you and themselves out. They'll take your future. They don't mind. They will crash your car up. They will mess your things up only because they just need you not to have it. They don't care if they don't have theirs. And then they'll blame it on you that they don't have theirs, even though they took the risk. Anywho, that's that from that part of the literature. So that's the, I'll save those words because I got to go through that one. All right, so that part. So I'm writing on my mail. I always do that. So if you dudes don't stop acting up, they're going to start, the women are going to start locking your ass in the house. No friends. Work. No PlayStation. Pussy. No head. Noodles. No pack. Dinner with a spoon. Y'all keep acting up. They're going to start locking you up in the house. The same way y'all be wanting women to not want to go outside. These women going to start making y'all sit down in the house because apparently y'all know how to have friends either. Yeah, we get ratchet on this internet. I try not to. I make it very rare. But y'all makes it habitual and y'all do it. And y'all think because y'all don't put your little faces on that little thumbnail that don't nobody see y'all in real life. Y'all be like, peekaboo, y'all see me? I didn't know you see me. Yeah, when you're outside, unfortunately, you're not in text mode, you're not in social media mode. People see your movements, dude. So yeah, y'all keep acting up. We ain't gonna want y'all had no friends either. Oops, there's a lot of women that don't want y'all to because they just got PTSD from other people having friends. This is how we get a bunch of needy people who cannot trust you. And it happens on both sides. So let me be a little fair before y'all come at me. This is how we got to the clingy area. This is where we got how we got to the mistrusting area because your minds could be infiltrated so easily. This is why you got to go back to being by yourself a little bit more often because you're too impressionable. When the right things come along to infiltrate you, you don't accept the good influence. You are appeased by the bad influence. And I mean, some of it is funny. I mean, some of it is cool. I mean, you want to shake it up a little bit in their life. I get it. But y'all want to shake it up every other weekend in the middle of the week, And you know what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about be boring. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you can't chill out, let your head down every so often. I'm saying the ones who just doing it to death. You're living your life so hard, so early, at the expense of everybody else's comfort and development that nobody develops. Nobody on the back end, nobody on the front end. So in a way, you tether people to a situation in which they ain't even had no control in. And I think this is why I started the series of Inside Gossip, because there's a lot of things that we hold inside that could change the trajectory of our relationships right now in the presence. And it's inside gossip. Damn. Somebody want me shut up? Trying to dry me out. That's why you got to keep water available. Anywho, so somebody's like they're trapped in the dark night of the soul, like Batman Forever. I remember when I had a black Camaro and it had black blue tint, and I had the little Batman Forever sign on the back of it. You couldn't tell me anything. Oh my gosh, I missed that car. Rest in peace to you. And by the way, rest in heaven to B103 Avery Johnson. I remember Miss Avery. I used to stay at her house. Where she lived on Cordelia or Benson, something. She lived over there. And she was like my safe space for a little while until my second nephew was born. And then I had to come back to the house of horrors. But yeah, either way, I remember you, Miss Avery Johnson. She used to tell me stories like she was married to Barry White. And she had my little crazy butt believing Barry White was my godfather. I miss her. I miss her. Sweet lady. B103 Avery Johnson. So I remember that. All right. So some people, I want to say this, Chosen, you did do some good work for the people who don't like you. I'm going to tell you why. Because this is what I figured out too. You did do some good work, light workers. I'll tell you why. Some people never paid attention in school until you showed up. Some people never did no good work until you showed up. Some people never dressed good, never took a real proper bath. They never really took account of themselves. They never really wanted a relationship. They never wanted education. They didn't want any of those things until you showed up. So don't take when people don't like you personally. Don't take when people push you out of places personally. Think of it like this. Put a spin on it. This means you're not supposed to be in the mix. Sometimes you're supposed to be above the mix. And even some of us are supposed to be leading or teaching the mix. And this is why sometimes you will be the most unliked and the most hated. And that's sometimes a great position because you don't have to be loyal to a person that you may have to fire in the long run. Don't let that go over your head. All right. So, you did some people a favor, and you also did yourself a favor by being able to stay detached, even sometimes by default or by elevation. Some people got upset and they decided when you came in the room, they were going to compete with you. That was until you elevated out of their reach. Now, who are they going to compete with? Because now, in order to compete with you, they would actually have to do work to get to your level. And some people were able to latch on to your energy and elevate for a bit and elevate for a time. Because when you entered the room, Now they wanted to get her good in math. Yep, yep. When you entered the room, now they wanted to know about what kind of soaps to use. Yep, because they saw your skin. Yep, and they smelled you when you walked by. They liked your walk by air because it smelled better than they walked by air. So they was like, you know what? I'm going to study that. So then I'm telling you, you did some people a favor when you walked into the room because before you walked into the room, they was not about to open no book. They saw you open the book, and then they saw somebody look at you open the book, and they said, well, damn, nobody ever pays me attention. So maybe if I open the book, somebody will pay me attention. You see what I'm saying? You did maybe a few people some favors. Me, I think I became a matchmaker and a social organizer by default. I'm gonna tell you why. Because people didn't like me. And what happened was people who didn't like me started looking for people who didn't like me. It was like haters matchmakers. Ooh, don't take that. I might keep that. So, what I'm saying is, they were seeking each other by way of the common thing. It was like people would put in the key search word and it would be like hate her. And the thing was, I'd pop up and they'd be like, you know what? Boop. And then it'd be a match and they swipe right and they'd be like, besties, we're gonna hate together. Chest bump. What would you do with a petty bitch? Yikes. Anyway, so what I'm saying is some people only came together because they didn't like you. You did so many people a favor. Some people would have never met their little cruddy soulmate had they never decided to put their mouth or their eyes, their evil eye, on you. So, some people have gotten great relationships, I guess, by way of not liking you. Congratulations, you've done some people favors. And that's okay as long as they leave you alone, right? That's all you wanted in the first place. But since it's to their benefit and it's to your benefit, why not? Because you are now a matchmaker by default. And also, some people, they never looked that good until they came across you. They were, let's say it the bougie way, dostay, mm, dirty, mm, mode, mm, crusty. Mm. Yeah, so some people were just like that until they met you. And then they said, you know what? I'm going to do it. And then they had their glow up, and everybody's like, oh my goodness, you did well. I'm so glad you did well for yourself. And you know what? That's okay that you inspired somebody. You didn't pay attention to the fact that they probably sabotaged you, probably talked about you, and probably discredited you along the way, all while gently and subtly stealing every bit of your swag and wearing it from their own for their own, you know. And some people will try to get you to leave so that they can come in disguised as you. Voila! But by stealing your identity, they did increase their social status. Mhm. And some people will plagiarize your whole entire likeness and then go around people and say, look at me. I am this and I am that. I am the cat in the hat. Hmm. Matter of fact. And be telling a whole goddamn lie because they study the person so that they can get their same status. Hmm. Maybe some of the same other stuff, but we're not even going to go there. But congratulations to you once again that you were able to motivate someone to get their education, to dress better, to smell better, to do better, even if it wasn't for them. Sometimes they only did it to torture you, to humble you, or to prove to you that they could do it. And guess what? We're going to clap for them anyway because at least they did it. It's just sometimes people run out of steam and they get upset with you because they have not the energy to keep going because they don't see that you are reaching for the stars. And congratulate yourself for that, for running the gamut and exceeding beyond. And it's not that you were in competition because it's really you versus you every day. And that is something to celebrate because you are trying to keep your eye on the prize. Yes, you can give people hope, but you don't have to do things for people, especially ungrateful people. Yes, you can help people, but when you see a person is only around to cherry pick you so that they could get their step up and you don't get anywhere, you got to get out of there. Save yourself. Hashtag. Anyway. So, congratulate yourself on helping someone get a lot further than they would have gotten had they not met you. Because some people won't ever admit it because it's you. And that's a hard pill to swallow. But like I said, you've brought people together, you've broken some people up. And maybe that looked bad. Maybe because they said that you did it intentionally. However, some of you are innocent. Some of us are innocent. We are because we didn't know we were put in third party situations, and it doesn't have to be romantic. Sometimes we didn't get that job because someone cheaper came along. Sometimes we didn't get that job because someone more impressionable came along and they saw that they could control that person much better than they could control you. So, yeah, you're not going to get that promotion because you might just do an idea that's yours. You can't show up that next ladder there, okay? Because they're going to send you down a chute and they're not going to offer you a ladder. There's that board game again. So you see, sometimes you can do good. A lot of times you could do better, but not better than others, especially if they deem themselves to have already topped you. You're like, why they hating? They're already a manager. Why they not letting me get my bread? Oh, that's because if you were able to be a manager and they already deemed themselves better than you, then that means they'd actually have to pay to go to school or actually have to invest in themselves in some sort of way to get to the next ring to deem themselves better than you. And actually, it's insanity because why are you deeming someone else's success as your rate, as your bar? Are you allowing someone else to set the bar in your life? This is how a lot of people run into that. And keeping up with the Joneses has a lot to do with that. It's economical suicide. Social suicide at its best, depending on how far a person is willing to go. And social media has definitely revealed a lot of that. The pump faking, the future faking, the career faking, the life faking, the relationship faking, all that. Like a lot of that has been very prevalent in the last few decades. Definitely. Hmm. But congratulate yourself nonetheless because you have motivated someone who would not have been motivated had not you came in and they didn't get triggered into success. Some people have only become successful because of the pain. But, dear, you need to, once the pain turns into success, you can afford therapy to let go of the pain so that you can retain and maintain the success. Can I repeat that for you? Should I? Are you getting a pen? Okay. Okay. So some people become successful through pain. And once you get to the success, you use the money from the pain. You see, that's why people turn pain into success. Once you get enough money, you can afford to let go of the pain by way of therapy, by way of hobbies, by way of something to let go of that pain. You have to heal, do shadow work. Maybe you can afford to go on trips. Maybe you can afford to sit at the beach for a week or two, take a retreat, something, so that you can allow the pain to go so that you can retain the success and maintain the success. Hopefully you were able to write some of that down. We're going to get to the homework in a second because I want you to write this down if you can and take account of all the people, including your friends, both platonic, both the people who you speak to and you can remember their name. Um, there were some other notes that I had. I didn't pull them up yet. But yeah, this is the homework. You get I don't know if you're going to write it this way or you're going to write it that way. Uh Disposable, recyclable, collectible, valuable, priceless. Disposable, recyclable, collectible, valuable, priceless. And write down the people who surround you into these columns so you can figure out how to move accordingly. Now, this isn't to say that you have to separate yourself from these people. It is to say that you need to know the value of people around your life so that you could evaluate and use discernment of who's definitely in your circle as opposed to who's stepping in your square. The difference of being in your circle is the person in your circle is protecting you. A circle is very hard to penetrate. Now, when you have someone stepping in your square, yes, it's hard to get them out your square, but when a person steps in your square, they're there to compete, they're there to monitor you, they're there for a malicious reason or bad intentions. That's stepping in your square. They're there to challenge you in a way in which isn't good for your health. Stepping in your circle, a person can challenge you still and be protecting you. And we need to have discernment on that part as well. A lot of people think love means, oh, I'm going to forgive you every time. I'm going to let you roll over me. I'm going to give you, give you, give you, give you, give you, give you. No, love does not mean that. Sometimes love stings a bit because it makes you look at yourself and realize you have some accountability. You have a part in this situation. You have a responsibility in the part of your heart. So, in the circle situation, yes, there will be challenges, but none like what would be in the square. And this is why you have to see who's in your circle and see who's there to square up with you. All right, so remember the words are disposable, recyclable, collectible, valuable, priceless. Disposable, people who can come and go in your life. You know, you don't need validation from them. They don't need validation from you. Non-playing characters. Recyclable, almost the same, but when they come in your realm, you don't push no prod, but you don't have any malice toward them, so you can say hello, right? Doesn't matter. You can wave, you can do a head nod. You're not really invested in them. Collectible, people who you acknowledge, you make sure you remember their name, you remember what they do, you remember certain things about them because they are part of your social circle, not directly but indirectly. Valuable, those are the people who are in your social circle who are valuable, who are investable. They have invested, you have invested. That's a valuable person. They invest, you invest. That makes it valuable. Priceless is a person who's going to invest in you no matter what. And that does not always mean money. That also can mean a ear to hear, a shoulder to lean on, somebody to feed you, somebody to house you, somebody to clothe you, somebody to hug you, somebody to love you, somebody to pray for you, somebody to protect your name when you're not in the room, somebody who's not going to allow anyone to harm you in any form, shape, or fashion. That's a priceless person. So the words in these categories again: disposable, recyclable, collectible, valuable, priceless. That's the homework for that. The other notes that I had was Maleficent. That was the movie. That was the movie suggestion. Rockin' Robin. That is a book suggestion. It's a pink and black cover. I don't know if you can pull it up on Urban Fictions or something like that. It's pretty wild. It's really good. It's a lady with like bipolar schizophrenia. I mean, she has a reason and a backstory for being this way, which turns her into a psychopathic vigilante. But it's not good. So in the end, it has a pretty a twisty end. I'm not going to reveal it to you, but it's pretty decent. You should read it. It's not that intimidating. It's maybe about 200 pages. It's really large script. It's called Rockin' Robin. So the movie is Maleficent. You can watch one or two. I'm sure you're going to get what I'm talking about if you watch it. Maleficent, and then it's the reading material is Rockin' Robin. Then the song that I started off with this morning is The Recession by Jeezy. The album is The Recession, and that's the intro. That's the intro. The Recession, everybody. So that's the song. Um, Last names are significant. Bloodlines, something to do with bloodlines. Bloodlines, remember how they said everybody is connected in some way by last name or by bloodline. It's like if you follow the bloodline, you could trace everybody to everybody. So that's what somebody's doing. That's the investigation. That's what somebody's looking up. Somebody's looking up somebody's family. Somebody's using the last name to look up everybody. It's something like that. Somebody's being pulled together into some stuff. So keep your nose clean. Somebody's into the booger sugar. Where the hell it come from? Anyway, all right, bet. Look, you never know. Oh, what I had mentioned before from the book, what I never got to touch because it was like a little small spot. Remember when I was saying that they was in prison and they were duplicating, oh, say so somebody was duplicating something, making duplicates or something, copies or something. All right. Remember I was saying they was making copies of people identity. That was the identity fraud and also the human trafficking. It's a form. Almost everything is a form of human trafficking as long as something is being consumed in way of which to make money. All right, that. So that part was it's like they doing little small Enron scams. It's against the law. Somebody named Sharon, Sharon, something. All right, so it's Enron. That's how I put that on the end of that because it's Enron. Something about Enron scams, and it's like little small baby Enron scams, and it's like turned into a big thing. It's like a big snowball. It's like an avalanche of Enrons. Remember Enron? It was a big thing. Yeah, Enron, whatever. Okay, so Easy Street Die Lonely. Easy Street die lonely. I swear the city owe me took that cash in that pass. You be my niggas phony. Easy Street die lonely. You met a holding Tony. She get deep in the streets and she leave a pocket and she leave your pockets bony. Okay. Them donuts tried to check. Them donuts tried to check. Had hoes coming for my neck. Was duping broads at the mall. I was working on that check. Tried to loop me with the goofies. Tried to catch me in a net. I'll cuss your ass like Damon Dash, that landlord tossed you on your neck. I tried to reason what you be, but all you know is disrespect. Claim you left town with a bust down. Tell me, are you done lying yet? Your mother ass ain't got no class. She really didn't cook at all. No salt, no pepper, no boundaries. How did your mama trick the law? Maybe you did them a favor. Maybe you took the fall. Cooking the books, trying to make me a crook. Baby, you got some big ass balls. I don't fuck with you. Hit a truck from you. You parked my heart. No, I don't fuck with you. Hit a truck from you. Parked my heart miles away. Had the tuck from you. You had. I don't fuck with you. Hit a truck from you. Parked my heart miles away. Had to tuck from you. You had niggas slide on me, stalk and ride on me. You think shit sweet. Think you a leaf breezy down by homie. I don't know how that came out. Okay. I don't fuck with you. Hit a truck from you. Park my heart miles away. Had to tuck from you. You had niggas slide on me, stalking and ride on me. You think shit sweet. You a leaf breezy down by homie. Gotcha. I swear the city. Oh yeah, easy street die lonely. I swear the city owe me. Took the cash in that pass. Y'all be more niggas phony. Easy street die lonely. You met a hoe named Tony. She get deep in the streets and she leave your pockets bony. I heard you like to lick a lick. That's what's your excuse? I'm drunk as shit. Your nigga said he'd sell a bit. We found out he preferred the dick, and that's just not the brunt of it. So there's more. So there's more. Okay. Remember on the episode, the Christmas episode of Krampus at the end, and he was like, Sheila, Sheila, and that was the devil. The Sheila represented like the devil. That was the Capricorn. That was obsession, right? And he was in there with that little boy. He was in there with little Steve. Ooh, I'm touching on something. Somebody messed with little Steve. Somebody fondled with that boy. Um, it's on American Dad. Trust me, Krampus. He says, Sheila, Sheila. I remember I used to make somebody laugh with this one because I used to do the impression, and he was so ignorant and indignant. He liked it, and it was like I was like, "Wow, he really likes toxic shit." And you could see him smile real, real big. The more toxic I was, the bigger it was, and I was like, "It's really something really evidently wrong with you." But I didn't say anything. I just used to perform bigger because I like to see him laugh. But I really thought he was an idiot. But yeah, I used to do Sheila. You no, left me all alone, $1 to my name, and dirty ass Baltimore. And when I catch you again, I'm gonna kill you, Sheila, Sheila. So somebody got turned out by somebody named Sheila, or they started doing the stuff together, or they do it together. And somebody got freckles. Okay. Um, yeah, that's it. Tarot tomorrow, guys. Love you all. This has been Nyx. Go to the beginning. Woo.